Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Talking with Talamantes and Titus. This is, I don't know what installment this is. We've been doing this for a little while now, but today is October 29th, and we have quite a few exciting things to talk to you about. Obviously, I am not Chief Rhymes, I'm VP Titus, but I'll be moderating our little session here tonight. So some items for discussion we have are Director Nielsen talking to us about Polk's Vote, Director Pados talking to us about some of the upcoming events that AHW has planned around Halloween with some awesome prizes. And Director Mandiaman will talk to us a little bit about financial wellness. And then, of course, President Talamantes will talk to us a little bit about how we're working to support student employees. And I will wrap us up by talking about legislation that has been passed through the Senate and how we're working to give recommendations regarding student fees. So I will kick it over to Director Nielsen to talk to us first about Polk's Vote.
Hi guys, my name is Taylor Nielsen and I am the Director of Governmental and Community Affairs. Polk's Vote is a WIO courses module or shell that we put together that is now available to every student on their dashboard. Originally you had to sign up for that, but thanks to IT working with us, it should now be available to all students, undergraduates and graduates alike. And it's just got a bunch of really awesome resources in there. We have it divided up into modules that talk about specific issues that deal with the election, things from if you're an out-of-state voter, how to figure out your information, to profiles on all of the candidates and information about what to do on election day. And as election day nears just around the corner on Tuesday, I urge everyone to hop on there and look at I believe it's the third module, and it's called Election Day. In there are a bunch of really important pieces of information as to what you need in order to vote on election day. So for example, if you are a first-time voter in the state of Wyoming, you have to bring your ID with you in order to vote. If you have voted before, then you will not need to have your ID. But if this is your first time voting here in Laramie or anywhere else in the state, you will have to have that on you. Additionally, there is a hyperlink in there where you can click on that and punch in your address, and it'll tell you where your polling station is. So for example, I live down by the South Lot, and my polling station is at the Laramie High School. So that's a really awesome tool. Many people are not sure where it is that they should go, and that's a nice, easy way to be able to find out where it is that you need to actually go on November 3rd if you have not already done any of the other early voting options. Additionally, one thing that we really want to promote is Wyoming is one of the states where it is legal to take a picture with your ballot. You can take pictures with your I voted sticker regardless of what state you're in, but many states do not allow you to take selfies with your ballot on election day. However, Wyoming is one of those states. So we are encouraging everyone who goes out and votes to upload a picture of either their ballot or them waiting in line or them with their sticker, something that shows that you are being a part of this election process. Upload that to your social media, tag us in it, and then we are going to pull people from those to win some swag bags, some other prizes and things like that. So just kind of a fun activity to share this awesome political environment that we all get to be a part of. So I encourage everyone to share your selfies with us on election day, get inspired, have fun with it. It's an amazing experience that we all get to be a part of. Additionally, the Slice office has some buttons. We put together these cool holographic stickers, and everybody loved them so much that now we have buttons for everyone. So if you want to throw one of those onto your backpack or just swing by the Slice office and pick those up. They're really cool. They're that same kind of holographic consistency that were on the stickers before. And just kind of check out those Polk's Vote things, because these modules have been updated as the weeks have gone by. We've added new content. There are quizzes that have all of the amazing prizes, from things like an Instant Pot or AirPods to, I believe the final exam has a Nintendo Switch with Animal Crossing as the prize. And on election day, in the spirit of all of this amazing energy that we get to be a part of, we're going to be doing those drawings for who wins those prizes. So make sure that you're keeping your eye out for those things and participating. All you have to do is do the quiz to be able to be entered for the drawing. So I encourage everyone to get on there. Even if you already know all of the information, winning some pretty cool free prizes is never a bad thing. So that's a resource that you have available. Additionally, we're going to be updating that with some more information about some of the local candidates, as we have many people running for re-election or as write-in candidates coming in for city council, county commissioner, and things like that. So I encourage everyone to get on there and look at the information and the resources that we have. Just check out some of those announcements and some of those interactive feeds, and make sure that come Tuesday, you've cast your vote in one way or another.
Awesome. Thank you, Director Nielsen. We'll turn it over to Director Patos now to talk more about the Halloween events.
Hi everyone, so I'm the Director of Marketing, and we have planned some fun events for you guys. The first one is a pumpkin decorating contest where you can win a Disney Plus subscription for 3 months, and this is because we're making the contest Disney themed, so anywhere from like your favorite spooky movies, your childhood movies, to like Star Wars, just let your imagination run wild. And this contest is going to be running until Sunday, November 8th. So just post a picture of your pumpkin on your story, and make sure to tag our Instagram and hashtag it Pokes Pumpkins. And then the second contest that we have is a costume contest. And at ASUW, we want to make sure that we're being culturally appropriate and understanding of all the different cultures that we represent on our campus. And for that, we want you to showcase how this Halloween you're going to dress culturally appropriate as well as COVID safe. So make sure to social distance, wear your mask. There's really no better event than Halloween to be wearing a mask. And just once again, post a picture on your story of your costume and tag us and hashtag it wear a costume and not a culture. Those are our Halloween events. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Director Patos. And finally, I'll turn it over to Director Montianum to talk about financial wellness.
Thanks, Courtney. Hello, I'm Santosh Madhyanam, and I'm the Director of Financial Planning and Analysis. So Financial Wellness has yet another very exciting event for all of you. It's called the UW Money Chase. So what we're doing is scavenger hunt across Laramie, and which is mostly digital. All you have to do to enter the UW Money Chase is be a full-time UW student. So download the Goose Chase app and look for UW Money Chase, or enter the game code that's on the poster. Our first 3 prizes for that are $550, $450, and $350 in cash. And then we also are giving out 25 swag bags to the next 25 places. You'll also be entered to win a random giveaway at each week if you finish all 6 missions. Could you go to the next slide, please? So here are all of the rules and regulations for the UW Money Chase. There'll be 6 missions each week with different points. Additional points can be added by the Financial Wellness Committee. Points can also be deducted if all of the rules are not followed, and no points will be awarded if it's not submitted via Goose Chase app. You must participate in all 6 missions each week and submit all of the evidence by 11:59 on Sunday to enter the random giveaway. But don't let that deter you yet. You can join now. This has been running for a little over a week, but you can still enter to win the grand prize, and you can still enter for the future giveaways each week. Like I said, again, there'll be 3 different prizes worth $550, $450, and $350 prizes. A lot of us here have already taken part in it, so don't waste your time and join the UW Money Chase. Thanks.
Thank you. And finally, we'll move on to the reports and communications portion of our event today. I'll kick it over to President Talamantes.
Well, thank you, Courtney. I hope you all are having a good week. And I just want to say thanks for tuning in again. I'm going to be talking to you all a little bit about how ASUW has been progressing in our support for student employees. So here at ASUW this semester, we've really been trying to investigate how the new university environment has been affecting students so that we can find areas of support and provide resources if students need them. So earlier this year, as I'm sure you all are aware, we moved into a phase plan before school had started, which, not only disrupted a lot of students' plans, but some of their employment as well, We also earlier this year had gone into a pause that virtually shut down campus and resulted in a loss of hours for some students. So in response to that, ASUW had wrote a resolution, so Senate Resolution 2707, for ASUW support for student employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. And what this resolution really did was just kind of let you all know about some of the grievances that we've had with these decisions, but despite that, wanting to work with the university so that we can find ways to continuously be supporting student employees when there has been an impact on university operations. So the resolution at the end kind of isolated some of these concerns and really pledged myself to be working with the Emergency Executive Policy Group, which is the overarching COVID response group that the university has had throughout the pandemic. And we want to be working with them on ways that we can support students who are financially impacted by the university's decision to move into a pause if we do have to go into another one at any point in time. So we had discussed with them, myself and Vice President Titus, several weeks ago about the option of doing emergency leave with pay. So that would be, if a student we went to a 5-day pause, a student lost hours during those pauses, a student could recoup those hours through an emergency leave with pay form because it's the university's decision to move into that pause. So we explored that option with the EEPG. However, because a lot of departments need a revenue stream in order to fill in those parts of their budgets, it would be a bit difficult for departments who employ students just across the board to commit to that monetarily. So we really would have to know, the average wage of students, how many average hours students really work so that we can try and materialize various areas of support. So if a student was financially impacted by moving into a pause, that could result in like a loan payment being late or like rent being late. We want to find ways that we can work with the university at seeing how we can help those students because of the university's decision to move into a pause. So through all of this bureaucracy we've been experiencing, through the next week or so, ASUW is going to be collecting data through an upcoming survey that is about student employees and wanting to get feedback from you all. And so we really want to figure out ways that we can best support you all, any concerns that you may have within your departments, whether it's COVID related or just the new university environment. We really do want to hear it so that we can find some ways to kind of fill in those gaps and support you. This survey will be anonymous as well, just to keep yourself safe. If you think that we're going to use that for any other reason, we definitely won't. But we want to just make sure that we're getting the data that's necessary so that we can materialize these forms of support, while also making sure that you all are feeling supported during this time. So that's all that I have for just our little chat about supporting student employees. But if you all do have any kind of questions, any other concerns in that vein, you can feel free to voice it during the open forum, or if it's just a little bit later in time, feel free to click on our feedback form, because it's definitely where we can help answer some questions.
Thank you, President Talamantes. So we'll now move on to some communications from myself. So first, a legislation update for you all. So Senate Bill number 2717, just finance policy edits. And then we have Senate Bill 2718, which is creation of the AHW Safety and Wellness Committee. So this created an action-oriented special committee, basically so that we can make sure that the student government is assessing students' concerns of safety and wellness. And then we have AHW support for Lauren's Promise. And Lauren's Promise is a promise saying that faculty members and professors, instructors will believe and support students who have been survivors of interpersonal dating violence and advocate for them through those issues. We have some more working documents edits, and then coming up next week for first reading, we'll have our student success priorities up for debate and passage. And this is per the Board of Trustees tuition policy. So for the student fees and tuition, the AHW Tuition and Student Fee Review Committee is working hard on collecting feedback and submitting recommendations to the Board of Trustees regarding this. So for the tuition increases, we will be circulating a feedback form and collecting feedback to submit on a white paper to the Board of Trustees and the university president. Student fee increases, will be having hearings and receiving proposals from all the fee units up until November 16th. Then student feedback will be due on November 19th and will pass legislation through the Senate by December 1st for the president's consideration over the winter break and for the board's consideration at their January meeting. Finally, as I mentioned, we have student success priorities coming up that'll be passed through the Senate on November 10th, and then we will submit that for the board's consideration and the president's consideration as well. So for more information about this, you can look on the website or you can email me. We welcome as much student feedback as possible on these initiatives. And then finally, we still have quite a few vacancies in the Senate. So if you're interested in joining, now is the time. We have 2 vacancies in the College of Education, 1 in engineering, 1 in Hobbs School, and 1 in the School of Energy Resources. And you only have to have a minimum GPA of 2.0. And it's about a 3 to 5 hour time commitment a week. But what you get out of it is a lot of leadership and professional development opportunities. We have a couple workshops coming up, and you get campus and peer connections, greater involvement within the campus community and with your peers. You can learn a lot about the university and how it functions. And obviously, it's a chance for you to voice your opinions on very important issues. So if you're interested in applying to join, follow that link. Or you can email me as well at asuwvp@uwyo.edu. So that concludes most of the communications portion of this event. And we'll move on to our open forum portion. If you have any questions and you're tuning into the live stream, feel free to comment below and we'll answer those live. We have had a couple of questions come in over Zoom, so we'll kick it off with those. And my first question, probably for President Talamantes, is can you tell us a little bit more about the budget reductions?
Yeah, sure. So the budget reductions that the university is in the process of submitting a proposal to the Board of Trustees. So President Seidel and the budget reduction working group over the past month or so has been going over areas that would be reduced at each college. And so this week, ASUW has received a draft of that proposal. We will be reviewing it and providing feedback and recommendations, as President Titus had mentioned earlier, by tomorrow. So at our board meeting on November 10th, this very broad and overview of the budget proposal will or will not be approved by the board. And from there, the colleges and other departments that are going to be getting their budget cuts will have the final numbers as to how much their department or college will be cut. And then from there, that's when a lot of the budget cuts will start to materialize. So we at ASUW hope that we can be involved in a lot of those college level conversations. There are stated in the press release that the university had put out this week, there are some programs that are going to be going up for review for either consolidation or elimination. And that's really where we would like to be involved in the conversation, just because there are some minors, majors that I think a lot of students would be very concerned about. And we just want to make sure that, you all are kind of involved in those discussions and see kind of an understanding for why those particular programs are up for review. And so we'll give you all some more details with that in the coming months once those things kind of start to materialize. But right now, they're in the final stages of getting the broad overview of the draft reviewed and passed by the board. And as soon as that happens, I think more specific cuts are going to be coming your way. And so hopefully we can provide you some information later on down the road about how those cuts will be impacting students.
Thank you. And then we have another question that came in. It says, in light of recent social issues, what is the view of AHW on the idea of defunding the campus police? And how is AHW working to make UW a safer and more inclusive campus? And I'll kick it off for that one. So as I briefly mentioned, we do have a pretty new safety and wellness committee that will focus on just these exact issues. This committee arose out of the Rave Guardian ad hoc committee in an effort to create a more tuned in force within AUCW to actually serve student safety concerns. So it will serve as a forum for students to bring concerns to AUCW. They will be doing a lot of data collection and assessment of student safety concerns, and it will be a very action-oriented group. So this group would be a good group to reach out to if you are concerned about UWPD or various other UW policies, anything from the lighting on campus to policies within the residence halls. This committee would love to hear it. It's a highly collaborative space, so we have a lot of different staff, faculty, and even students at large on it to work on these various issues. So I encourage you to get involved and voice your opinions on that. So moving forward, I hope to see that be a more consistent forum, and I think that's how AUCW is working to push some of the concerns that we've had regarding student safety forward on this campus. And our next question is more of just a general concern. So a student has shared with us that I'm concerned about support for neurodiverse students. One of my closest friends is neurodiverse, but as far as we know, there's no place for neurodiverse students to go to get help with succeeding academically. This is an important issue to me since specialized support is extremely important. I didn't know, President Talamantes, if you wanted to speak about some of the resources that are available for neurodiverse students.
Sure. I would direct the student to disability support services. Even if a student wouldn't necessarily need an accommodation in a class, I think it'd be a good option to explore. The folks over there are super helpful at kind of explaining the minutia of the process. Additionally, they can be able to point neurodiverse students to other academic support services. And so, one area that I could think of off the top of my head is the Student Success Services, which is available I'm actually not sure which portion of the website, but if you do Google UIO Student Success Services, you will be able to find a main page that kind of isolates a bunch of different support services that we have for students available at the university. I think what I really like about the Student Success Office is that if a student is struggling, they can be able to contact this office to set up meetings to talk about ways that you can manage your time, ways that you can adjust to college versus high school and the difference in the workload in those things, how you can be able to talk to your professors. I mean, they have a plethora of resources for helping students not only get adjusted to college, but also just the college life as well, and some of the experiences that you will have during that time. So I would highly encourage that person or any student that is really feel like they're kind of struggling with some of their academic success to reach out to those offices. There's some really great people that work in there that would be very happy to help you.
Thank you very much, President Talamantes. So if there's anyone waiting to submit your questions, now would be the time. We just have one more question to get through. It's more of just a general concern that a student shared with us about class offerings this spring. And I would kick it off by saying that coming up soon within the next coming weeks, President Talamantes and I do have a meeting set up with Academic Affairs, specifically Provost Ann Alexander, and we will definitely be elevating these concerns to her. And I think that in a time with budget reductions and COVID concerns, and when faculty are stretched as just as thin as students are, with these lack of breaks we've had, I think it's definitely still a concern that needs to be addressed. And AUCW will be doing everything we can to make sure those concerns are elevated and addressed. All right. Well, seeing no further questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up this installment of Talking with Talamantes and Titus. So if you all want any more information or to get in contact with us about any of your questions, thoughts, or concerns, we're more than happy to help, and we're always available. So you can follow us on social media. You can just DM us if that feels more comfortable. You can also email any one of us. All of our emails are in the UW directory, and we're always happy to help you. And AUCW is here to serve you and is working for you. All right, so thank you once again for tuning in, and we will see you again in a couple weeks.